Learning languages, dating. How the hell do these two relate to each other? They may be more similar than you think. Just like in a real relationship, you have to commit, you have to invest time, energy, you also need to invest emotionally. When you're learning language, you also want to show up, you also want to be consistent, you also want to invest, right? Commit to this thing. And same, both will get a honeymoon period. You feel like, oh, this is a person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And later on, you have fights, arguments, things you disagree on. And later you may realize, oh, maybe she's not good for me, or maybe this language learning thing is not for me. Maybe I need to do something else. So you break up and you stop learning completely. But you may say, when it comes to learning a second language, you're super committed and you take effort almost every single day, but still you are not able to speak English or any other languages that you are learning fluently. Why is that? I don't know about you, but I often feel a blend of two people. Here's me that you can see right now, but there's also another me inside of me, this little voice that I often have conversations with, often telling me to do this and that, or don't do this and that. This is my brain. Unlike in the real world, you get to choose who you want to date. When it comes to learning or learning languages, you don't get to choose. You are bound with this in yourself when you were born. It sounds terrible, but the good news is she's extremely moldable, so she has the potential to become the best girlfriend in the entire world. On the other end, just like in the real relationship, this little girlfriend inside of you, she also has her personality. She has her likes and dislikes. She has her own interests. She may get angry one moment for no reason. You may not understand why she's getting mad at you. Or she might be extremely happy and smile like an idiot. And you're like, why are you smiling like that? She's all of these things. But she doesn't speak. She communicates through real actions. She gives you signs, and that causes a lot of problems for your relationship. When you ask her to do all the work, when you ask her to memorize this vocabulary list, and you tell her this is gonna be really important for us, that's good for our future because they will appear in the exam and we need to understand it in order to get a good mark, she doesn't want to do it. She wants to bail out the moment you start. When you're really excited about starting reading your first English novel, she's not excited at all. When you force her to study for too long, she doesn't want to do it anymore. She gives up completely, she stops working, she protests, and you feel burnout. And the result, you messed it up, you screw your exam, you end up not speaking English fluently. So whose fault is this? Who is in the wrong? And you may think, apparently it's her, right? It's not you. You've done everything you can, you've done everything right. But you know what? It's actually totally your fault. She's being a great communicator, giving you signs. When you start memorizing this vocabulary list, she starts acting up, she becomes drowsy and sleepy, you're not listening. When you start turning these pages of this English novel, there are so many words you don't understand, and she's telling you, maybe we should try an easier one. Maybe we should try something that you're truly interested in, not just, the one that everybody recommended. When you're using the most popular method, like comprehensible input theory to study English, have you ever asked her opinion? Does she really like it? Maybe it doesn't suit her style. Maybe she has a burning desire to talk, to communicate. Have you ever thought about that? In the real relationship, you want to really sit down and listen to her to see where she's coming from, right? You want to respect her. You're never ever going to force her to do anything against her will, right? You don't want to take her to go to these events she doesn't have an interest in going to. So in the real relationship, you will try to understand why she's acting in a certain way. You communicate, right? But in the second language learning situation, you never do that. You just keep on powering through, forcing her to do all the things that she doesn't like and ignoring all the signs. And now you're acting like it's all her fault. No, it's all your fault. You're being an idiot. You think this is something that's good for the relationship, but this is something that's good for both of you, so she should be willing to do the same. No. She wants the best for you. She wants the same thing that you want. but she also wants you to enjoy the process. She wants you to enjoy whatever you're doing. She wants to see you smile. She wants to see you happy because she is you. She's the little one that's residing inside of you. You're being blinded to this fact that you're dating her. You thought you're dating English. That's another girl. And you're asking your girl, your brain, or your little inside voice to do all the work just for the sake of pleasing that girl, English. Imagine that in the real life, you have your girlfriend, you're asking her to do this and that to please another girl. Does that sound crazy? If that sounds crazy to you, we are making sense here. And that's exactly what you're doing to your second language learning. So to learn well, fast, effectively, efficiently, effortlessly, you need to learn to understand her, to see how she works. Otherwise, you never have a chance to really speak English or whatever other languages you're learning fluently. There's no way you can do it solely without her. You have to cooperate with her. And just like in the relationship, you need to take care of her and to truly understand and get her input, ask her for her opinions, communicate. You also need to do that when you're learning a second language. Understand your brain when she gets tired, what things she likes, what things she doesn't like. You need to understand all of these things. Taking that into consideration, you have a much better chance. You might force her to do something and you feel like she's willing to do that. Well, because she loves you and she might say yes once or twice, but if you ask her to do these things too often, resentment will develop. And just like in the relationship, like you guys have a big fight and all of a sudden she starts bringing up all these old things that you did to her she didn't like. Remember that when we first started dating, you said this and that and you're not doing any of these things. And remember that 3 years ago you promised me to take me to this restaurant, but until this day you haven't done that yet. Remember that 2 years ago you used my toothpaste and you didn't put it back in the same place. Don't you underestimate her memory. Like your real girlfriend in the real life or this little girlfriend inside of you, don't you underestimate them. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. So since you're bound with this little guy inside of you, there's no way you can shed her. There's no way you can get rid of her. So you gotta learn how to get along with her, to understand where she's coming from and the way that she operates, the way that she navigates the world. Try to get on the same page with her. Try to get in sync with her. You have a much better chance of succeeding in second language learning. When she's happy, you'll be happier, and not just a little happier, but tremendously happier, because you eventually realize how to have a great time while learning a second language. Then every day it's gonna be Valentine's Day, and every day waking up in the morning, you just can't wait to see her. Like you would do anything, move the mountains, clear all your calendars to see her because she's great and you guys are having a great time every single day. Well, too much. I don't want to over glorify it or romanticize it too much. So either it's in the real relationship or this relationship with your brain or inner voice, you are still going to argue, like little fights here and there every now and then, but that's healthy relationships. All of these little problems and little challenges are only going to make your relationship stronger going forward. So try to have a great time with this little guy inside of you. I think one day you'll definitely be able to speak whatever the language that you're learning fluently. And I think this leads perfectly to my second language acquisition course. It doesn't teach grammar, vocabulary, whatever. That shit didn't work then. It's not gonna work now. The reason why you get stuck with your language learning is not because you aren't working hard enough. It's actually because you're working way too hard the wrong way. Forcing your brain to do things it doesn't like to do, memorizing vocabulary, grammar, whatever. Of course you get stuck. Stop doing that. Learn how your brain processes language, remember things, master skills. Learn in the way that your brain operates and enjoys. You supercharge your learning efficiency. This is what the course is all about. To make your learning easy and fun so that you want to come back for more and more every single day. You literally get addicted to learning. Isn't that cool? It's super super cool. If you're tired of English getting in the way of living the best possible life that you deserve to live, if you don't want to waste any more time, now's your chance. I'll see you there.